may not be a movie star, I may not drive a shiny car, I may not be surrounded by celebrities or royalty, I may not be the Prince of Wales or the King of Siam. In fact, I don't remember just exactly who I am, 'cause I got hit in the head by a brick and I can't remember a fucking thing. Hit in the head by a brick and I don't remember anything. I might have been some despicable white-collar criminal. I might have been a guy who absconded with investor funds after a crypto rug pull. I could have been some mastermind, or maybe even a foreign spy. Maybe I hacked the NSA or bombed the Nord Stream pipeline, or leaked files that were classified. But don't expect me to testify, 'cause I got hit in the head by a brick and I can't remember a fucking thing. Hit in the head by a brick and I don't remember anything. Hit in the head by a brick and I don't remember a fucking thing. Hit in the head by a brick and I don't remember anything. I got hit in the head by a brick and I don't remember a fucking thing. I might have been a funny singer, but now I can't tell jokes and I can't sing. And maybe the bridge for this song used to be a little bit lower, and maybe even a little bit funnier, maybe just a bit more clever. But don't expect me to remember. Oh yeah. We might have had a one-night stand. I might have even said I love you. I might have even promised you a mountain or the evening stars. We might have called each other honey. Hell, I might have even borrowed money. We might have almost had it all, but don't expect me to call, 'cause I got hit in the head by a brick and I can't remember a fucking thing. Hit in the head by a brick and I don't remember anything. Everybody sing. Hit in the head by a brick and I don't remember a fucking thing. Hit in the head by a brick and I don't remember.
Back up here again. All right, everybody. Let's do something
Even though they say she's out of my league, I'm coming up with a plan. I'm gonna change the way I strut my stuff. I'm gonna be a new man. I'm not gonna beg, I'm not gonna plead, I'm just gonna give her something she needs. I'll make her homemade ice cream, ice, milk, and sugar, and you shake it all up and make the homemade ice cream. Berries on top, and I'm gonna make her mine tonight. Changing and there's no way out. We're spinning out of control, turning in the widening gyre the center cannot hold, which is why, do or die, there's only one thing left for me to try, and that's homemade ice cream, ice, milk, and sugar, and you shake it it all up and make the homemade ice cream. Berries on top, and I'm gonna make her mine with my homemade ice cream. Ice, milk, and sugar, and you shake it all up and make the homemade ice cream. Berries on top, and I'm gonna make her mine tonight. Welcome to your life, I trust you will be opportunities and endless possibilities around you. Visions of a world that once was beautiful, but now has failed to meet up to our expectations. We are only prisoners in time. She called me up in the middle of the day. She had to turn me down. At first I wanted just to throw it all away, but then I turned it around. I took out the milk, grabbed some ice. Nobody else can tell you what to do with your life. You gotta meet the world face to face. I'm gonna make this a better place with my homemade ice cream. Ice, milk, and sugar, and you shake it all up and make the homemade ice cream. Berries on top, and I'll have a good time with my homemade ice cream.
Now we basically just want to crush
Ice, milk, and
ice up a
sugar,
little
and you
bit.
shake it all up and make the homemade ice cream. Berries on top, and I'll have a good time with my homemade ice cream.
Okay, so let's just shake this up for about
Ice,
5
milk, and
minutes.
sugar, and you
Actually,
shake
pretty
it
good
all up
exercise.
and make the homemade ice cream.
Now we can put whatever toppings on there that we have
Berries on
handy. I've
top,
got some
and I'm
almonds.
gonna have a good time. Homemade ice cream.
Checking the mic test. 1, 2, 2. Help. Help. Check. 2, 1. Check. Check. Whew. Computer. Volume 10. Okay. You got this. You can do this. You've done it so many times. So many times before. This is just one more. Coffee. That's what it is. That's what's been missing is the coffee. My God. Hello everybody and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today I'm going to be teaching you how to make crunchy rice, sometimes called crispy rice. Crunchy rice, sometimes called crispy rice, is a beloved texture profile across many global cuisines. Whether you're looking to make a savory pan-fried or baked rice, today we'll be doing pan-fried, snack on crispy rice rollers, or eat breakfast cereal, there is a method or product to suit your craving. Okay? Capacious T says, you get your ears lowered, Henry? My ears lowered? Are they lower than normal? I do feel like I have something in this ear. I can't really, I mean, this seems kind of silly, but this is the only thing that seems to work. You can kind of pinch out some wax and stuff from there. Pancake King says, Henry, have you ever visited Spiritus Mundi? No, what's Spirit? Computer, volume 10. Computer, what is Spiritus Mundi?
The Spiritus Mundi is a popular climbing harness known for its comfort and durability, often used by outdoor enthusiasts for rock climbing and other climbing activities. It features adjustable straps and a sleek design for a secure fit.
No, I've never been to that, but that sounds pretty cool. Oh, haircut. Thanks, Capacious T. Yeah, I see what you mean now. Yeah, I got this haircut a few days ago. I don't remember when, sometime last week. Capacious T says, wasn't that a Butthole Surfers album cover? Spiritus Mundi? It might have been. It sounds a little like a prog rock album title. Butt Smasher Masher says, hey Henry, hey, right back to you, Butt Smasher Masher. Caitlin's Kitchen says, I love crunchy rice. Some call it undercooked, but I think that's just some fancy terminology. Yeah, that's probably what it is. We're going to be using, it says to use day-old rice, but I mean, who's got day-old rice hanging around? So I'm just going to, I made some rice and we're just going to use that. It's in the fridge now. Dark Ages says, I just watched a Chinese movie where some rice salesman screwed the guy out of sticky rice. And it resulted in his friend turning into a zombie. Wow. It's extremely important to specify the rice type. Yeah. Some rice salesman screwed the guy out of sticky rice. And it turned his friend into a zombie. Okay, well, we'll be careful. Beanie Bo Beanie says Spiritus Mundi's nights, or these nuts. Sorry. Spiritus Mundi's Nights was a song from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, I think. Beanie Bo Beanie, Spiritus Mundi's Nuts. Okay. Dandelion says, day old, me say, day old, daylight come and me want to go home. Yeah, that's Harry Belafonte. All right, so I don't know. Speaking of horror movies, I just saw this movie, Help Wanted. It's very good. Pretty exciting. There are many occasions when I thought maybe that the title was a reference to a sound check. Parasitosis says, hey Henry, I hope this is a good May 17th for you. Are you a PEX, copper, or PVC for a plumbing kind of guy? Oh, I'd probably say copper. How many holes is too many holes in a pair of underwear? It depends on where the hole is. One time I wore underwear that had a hole in the back, and you can imagine how embarrassed I was when I went into the bank and everybody was laughing at me that was standing behind me. Also the fact that I wasn't wearing pants. I wish you the best of luck today. Thanks, Parasitosis. Slater USA says, are we cooking that tree behind you? No, this is actually green screen technology. This picture comes to us from Maui Girl, who's always sending beautiful, beautiful pictures of presumably where she lives and where she wakes up every single day. And it's got to be just amazing. Dark Ages says, it's crazy that Henry is a food explainer, a plumbing explainer, and an underwear explainer. Yeah, I like to generally, once the internet came out, it looked like anybody could just be an explainer of anything. And I think I like to consider myself part of that generation. It was a massive paradigm shift in the explaining community. Dendreleon says, no shoes, no shirt, no service. Doesn't say a damn thing about pants. Yeah, that's what my lawyer said. Z. Bradbell says, copper pipes are nice to have when you run out of meth money. Yeah, copper pipes. Yeah, you can use those, I guess. Okay, everybody, we're getting off a little bit. Capacious T says, I once fell and ended up with a crack in my butt. Can that be repaired? Yeah, they can surgically, I think, stitch it back up and make you normal again. Bobbins says, I've also heard that everything you hear online is true. That's incredible. Well, yeah, and then technically what you're saying right there would be true as well. Dark Ages says, I think I saw that in a horror movie once. Oh, God. Okay. Hopeful Equinox says, can you explain the fall of Constantinople for me? No, I'm only an expert in the rise of Constantinople and also pronouncing it. Burt Bufftug just resubscribed for 25 months. Amazing. Thank you so much, Burt Bufftug. And we've got some other alerts here that have come down the pike. Thank you, Maui Girl, for your beautiful picture behind us and also for subscribing. And thanks, Parasitosis, for all that you do, including subscribing for 43 months. Lady Dina, thanks for the cheers. Very kind of you. And Ladies Laid, thanks for the cheers. And yeah. Computer, can you explain to us the fall of Constantinople?
The fall of Constantinople was the capture of the capital of the Byzantine Empire by an invading army of the Ottoman Empire on May 29, 1453.
Yeah.
The Ottomans were commanded by the then 21-year-old Mehmed the Conqueror, the seventh Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, who defeated an army commanded by Byzantine Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos. The conquest of Constantinople followed a 53-day siege that had begun on April 6, 1453.
Okay, yeah, so that I pretty much had that down. I was a little iffy on the year, but apparently it's 1453. I was going to say somewhere between 1451 and 1455. That's always why it's better to go with the computer, because it gets the dates exactly right. I also thought he was 22 years old. I didn't, that Mehmet or whoever she said was 22. I didn't know 21. Parasitosis says, yeah, imagine them in the heat just sticking to your bare legs. Yep. Beanie Bobini says, Henry, can you ask computer to tell a lie? I'm interested in what she'll say. Computer, can you tell me a lie?
I'm not always right, but I don't lie.
Well, computer, what is the definition of to lie?
From Bartleby.com. To lie means to make an untrue statement with the intent to deceive, according to the Webster's Dictionary.
Ah, so it's the intent. Because she said plenty of untrue things, but apparently is claiming not to have the intent to deceive. But then again, I'm just taking her word for it, and she's created by a mega corporation. Jackie Faye says, wait. Oh, it scrolled by. I feel like she just said she lies. I think she kind of did too. Said I'm not always right, but she claims not to have the intent and that's part of the definition. Dendra Leone, thank you so much for gifting 2 Tier 1 subs. That's very kind of you. And Eclipse Producer, thanks for gifting a sub. We've got pictures from all of you. And Hopeful Equinox, thank you very much for resubscribing. Let's go to some of these pictures right now. Thanks, Maui Girl, for this awesome background picture. What do we got here? Hopeful Equinox sends us this really interesting one. Wow, this looks like it's right out of that movie that I just watched called Help Wanted. Or is this out of the movie Castaway or Lord of the Flies? It's from something like that. It's very, very cool. Thank you very much, Hopeful Equinox, for sending this. I think I'll use this as the background for a little bit. I kind of like it. Help! Help! I'm just sort of role-playing there. Thanks, Eclipse Producer, for your bits, and Hopeful Equinox as well. Dandyface94 says, hi, Henry. These days it seems like the whole world economy is geared toward transferring the wealth from regular people to a select few tech companies in their quest to create an AI that enables them to never have to pay us to ever work again. Have you ever made popcorn chicken? It's an excellent question. Probably the question that I get asked the most as a cooking explainer is, how did you get here? And who are you? But the second most popular question that I get is if I want to buy drugs. But the third most popular question is definitely, or somewhere around there, is have I ever made popcorn chicken? Popcorn chicken is a little bit like regular chicken, except it's got a batter that's made out of popcorn, similar to extra crispy when it comes to Kentucky Fried Chicken, the extra crispy version. What were we talking about? Oh, Danny Dog 69 has gifted or has subscribed. Thank you very much, Danny Dog. And Hopeful Equinox says, "Will you ever do birria tacos?" Well, I ate them when I was in Tucson, Arizona, and I went to this restaurant. I'm sure maybe Saguaro, but definitely Pug Lady, I would imagine, and Thitch and Hat probably know this place, and maybe Jaffe. But it's like the oldest Mexican restaurant in all of the Southwest or something, or definitely in Tucson, and it's an absolutely beautiful restaurant, and the food is unbelievable. So if anybody knows which restaurant I'm talking about, please jump in. El Charro, it might have been El Charro. That sounds about right. And that's where I had some birria type stuff. I had some really good birria tacos, I think. Chernot, the singer. Hey, Chernot, thank you very much for subscribing, and also thanks for singing. Saguaro Oo says, "Oh yeah, that place is amazing." Yeah, that was it. El Charro. I love that food brings us all together. Carinu Pinion says, "Hi, fellas." Hey, right back to you, Carinu Pinion. Thanks for joining us. We're having a nice time so far. When we start cooking, it's going to start sucking. Angry Penguin says, "Are you on vacation? Save me some toasted marshmallows with the burnt skin." Oh, yeah. Has anybody seen Help Wanted? Because this really does look like one of the scenes from it. Dandyface94 says, "So you could have just said no, Henry." I haven't done what? Oh. You're right. Oh, about popcorn. I could have just said no, but I learned from computer that you don't just answer a yes or no question with a no. And I'll show you, for example. This is a yes or no question. Computer, is it possible to make crispy rice?
Yes, you can make crispy rice by cooking it until it's slightly underdone, then frying it until golden and crunchy. It's a tasty snack. Or
Computer, stop. You see what I mean? There's no such thing as just yes or no. You have to actually expand on it. That's what I learned from computer. Frivolous Disguise says, "Good morning, Henry. I hope you're doing okay." I am doing okay. I'd say okay is probably a good way to describe how I'm doing. Speaking of which, I hate to leave this beautiful picture that Hopeful Equinox gave us, but there's a lot of pictures here. This one that I used for the opening is from Guitar Joe. It's called Henry's Kitchen. Apparently it's in Slovakia. But here's the really cool part. Within Henry's Kitchen, on their menu, or maybe it's on their website or something, there is a part where it says okay. And I just want to say, in this case, I know we use the term okay a lot at Henry's Kitchen. In this case, I think what they're saying is that their food is okay. They're saying it's not delicious, but it doesn't suck. It's okay. Computer, what does okay mean?
As an adjective, okay is usually defined as all right, proceeding normally, satisfactory, or under control.
Yeah.
As an adverb, okay is usually defined as all right, well enough, successfully, fine. As an interjection, okay is usually used to express agreement, understanding.
Computer,
acceptance.
stop. So what they're saying is that this is satisfactory food. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Official Shitter says, okay. All right, everybody. Angry Penguin says, I thought it meant Oklahoma. Yeah, it might. In this case, I think that would just be okay, just the two letters. But I'm not positive. Let's find a nice background. Wow, Saguaro Ooh sends us this picture from the northern part of New Mexico, and apparently this is a caldera of a volcano that's been inactive for about 1,000,000 years. So you guys are just sitting right there by a huge volcano. It's amazing to think that that could go off at any minute. It really gives you perspective and kind of fear also. Very nice shot. Thank you for this. We've got a couple of songs here. Let me try to find a nice background for our songs here. How about Emmy Bear? We haven't seen Emmy Bear in a while, but Emmy Bear gave us this beautiful picture of, looks like a windmill type situation. Are you in Holland or one of those types of places? It's very cool. There might have been a caption on there, but I didn't write it down. But thank you very much for this picture, Emmy Bear, and good to see you. And Pisces Baby gives us this song. Yeah, let's use this one. Or not a song. It gives us this picture. What is this? Is that part of the picture? Oh, that's my parchment paper blocking the situation. Okay, yeah, we're going to use this as our background picture here. Emmy Bear says it's the Netherlands. Oh, very cool. That was a beautiful picture. Thanks for sharing it. I've never been to the Netherlands. I would love to. Eclipse Producer says it's the Netherlands, not Holland, LOL. I have to confess, I've never traveled to either of those places. I'd really like to go. So I was just sort of shooting stuff out of my ass, proverbially speaking. Eclipse Producer says, damn, it's dark there, Henry. Are you going to eat dinner? I will eat dinner at some point, but this is just green screen technology. Oh, we got to fly, man. Oh. Parasitosis says Holland is in Michigan. It's not that far. Oh, okay. So I have this problem with my finger. Remember, I sliced up my finger on the machinery that we used the other day, the slicer, dicer, chopper. I didn't realize it was slicer, dicer, chopping my finger. And it's been a very brutal couple of days for guitar playing. But we're going to get through it. We have a couple songs. We have a request from Saguaro Ooh. Wanted to hear this song. Let's put the reverbus on. Checking the mic 1, 2. Do you hear reverb on? Z Bradbell, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the middle finger. It's just this one, but I've got a Band-Aid on it. Okay, you do hear reverb. Okay, I think we're ready to go. This is a song that came out in the 90s, I believe, from the band Four Non Blondes. It's called What's Up, I think, right? It's called What's Up. What's up? But interestingly, they never say what's up in the song. I know a lot of the younger people probably think I'm saying WhatsApp, which is an app that you can use to make illegal transactions or something. I don't know. I've never used it. Official Shitter says, what is up? Well, we're going to find out in this song. Corinne Pinion says, one of the great musical mysteries. Official Shitter says, what is up? And then DeMonkey 610 says, they do, but in so many words. Yeah, but words is the way that you would expect them to do it. Dufton says, I loved this Budweiser commercial. Wazza! No, Angry Penguin says sup for short. Okay, we could go on forever with this, but we got a lot of crunchy rice to make later, so let's go ahead and do this song by Four Non Blondes, as requested to us by Saguaro Ooh, who is somewhere in the southwestern portion of the United States. sitting on a caldera. 25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. I picked a real low key. I realized quickly when I knew I should, the world is made up of this brotherhood of man, for whatever that means. I realized that when I saw the movie How to Succeed in Business Without Trying. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed. Let's be honest, I cry all the time when I'm lying in bed, just to get it all out, what's in my head. And I'm feeling a little peculiar. And I wake up in the morning and I get my coffee and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream to the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, 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 hey. I said, hey, what's up? I think that's the way it's supposed to be. And I try, oh my God, do I try? I try all the fucking time in this institution. Ooh, plot twist, the narrator seems to be institutionalized. And I pray, oh good God, do I pray? I pray every single day for a revolution. So I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just to get it all out what's in my head. And I'm feeling just a little bit funny. And so I wake up in the morning and I make my coffee and I go outside and I get real loud and say to the top of my lungs, what the fuck? And I say, hey, hey, I say, hey, what the fuck? And I say, hey, hey, I say, hey, I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore. Ooh, ladies laid, thanks for the cheers. I said, hey, what's going on? Nancy Drudels caught the network reference. Timmy Bublé says, is this the mucus part of the stream or is that something different? Most streams don't have mucus. It's so cool that you have that. What do you mean mucus? Where's that coming from? Guitar Joe says, I literally heard Henry do this the first time on the Betamax earlier today. What a coincidence. Wow. Parasitosis says, Network is a wild movie. Yeah, it's a wild ride. It's fantastic. Dendra Leone says, nice of Henry to play the album version and not the wussy radio edit. Yeah, they changed a lot of it. Official Shitter says, stream title typo. Stream title typo? Oh my God. You're absolutely right. Mucus. No, that's supposed to say music. Games and chat. Look at me. What an idiot. Plus mucus, games and chat. Sorry about that, everybody. It was just a typo. Anybody who came here to see mucus, you might see some actually because I do have allergies, but that's not the crux of this episode. Timmy Bublé says, makes sense now. I thought you had a new segment. No. Carinu Pinion says, man, I was really looking forward to the mucus. Nah. Brett Bain says, I'm uncomfortable with this level of profanity. There needs to be more. Okay, we're going to try to up the profanity for you, Brett. Let's see if we can get a little bit more in there. I like using profanity because it's sort of my way of flipping the proverbial finger at the mainstream media platforms like television and movies, which never allowed me into their club. But this is a club that I am allowed in. I think everybody's actually allowed in it. And I get to say whatever words that I want. I do like to warn people that are watching with children that their children might start repeating these words afterwards. So, you know, if you're okay with that, that's all right. I think there's a lot worse words that you can say than things like fuck and shit. Hopeful Equinox says, I use it as punctuation. Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to use the word fucking as just like, you know, oh, so I went to the fucking 7-Eleven over there and I got a fucking Slurpee. And it was just like, it was like saying, I guess. But teachers didn't like it for whatever reason. All right, everybody. This is a beautiful picture. Thanks, Pisces Baby, for sending us this picture. And once again, Emmy Bear, thank you for sending this picture of the Netherlands. It's very nice. Let's also, Dendra Leon sends this interesting picture of a tree. This is a nice picture. Thanks for that. Any one of these could very well be a background for our, whoa. I Slap Catbutts sends us this picture. This one is foreboding and ominous. This looks like a storm's coming. This looks like you need to get the fuck out of there. Game Master Flash says, I only say cunt when dark is streaming. Okay, well that's alright. We all have our little rules. I Slap Catbutts says, I did. Oh good, you got out of there. What is this now? Is this... For whatever reason, the green screen always gets blocked by this little area here, and that kind of bums me. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use this thing. Whoa. What a genius idea I just had. I think Quanto would be proud of me. It covers it up a little bit. It's a Crown Royal bag. Why don't we use this as the background for our next picture? Frivolous Disguise. Those pictures are super pretty. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful pictures that you guys are submitting, and I really like them. Thank you for that. Dandy Face says, get this man some green paper. I'm not that invested. It'll be okay. Let's go ahead and do this next song that was requested to us by Parasitosis. None other than our very own Parasitosis wanted to hear this song. I had never heard this song, but I knew the band America. And now America is one of those bands that's not from America, they're from Europe. Computer, where is the band America from?
America formed in London, England, United Kingdom in 1970.
Yeah, because remember we had a whole disagreement about all that. A lot of yacht rock comes from the UK. Like, you know, the most obvious example would be Jerry Rafferty with the yacht rock anthem Baker Street, which wasn't even mentioned in the movie Yacht Rock. Okay, let's go ahead and do this song. It's by America, and it's American made, meaning made by the band America, who formed in the UK, so it's not really made in America. Parasitosis says, UK got yacht rock, and the US has butt rock. Okay, I wasn't familiar with butt rock. Computer, can you tell me about butt rock? Hey, computer, tell me about butt rock. Maybe there isn't so... I think it's a combination of sedimentary and igneous. Angry Penguin says butthole surfers is probably butt rock. Oh yeah, that would make sense, I suppose. Licorice Liquor says, "Oh, thanks. That's a nice beach. Is it a private one?" I'm not sure it's even a beach. This was a picture that was given to us by I Slap Cat Butts of a storm. And, you know, loneliness can be sort of a storm. So that's the way we're going to segue into this song. I got to remember that. Okay. It's not a hard one to remember. Let's see. I can't do finger picking today because of this injury that I got from the chopper slicer dicer. This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup and ride that highway in the sky. This is for all the single people, thinking that love has left them dry. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup. So they're saying if you're, lonely and you feel like love has passed you by, don't give up until you've discovered drinking. You never know until you try. I'm back to stay. Well, I'm on my way back home. This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you start drinking. It'll never take you down or never give you up. You'll never know until you try. It's weird. It ends on the minor chord, which is kind of ominous, which is a nice matchup for this background picture. Corinne Opinion says, I don't know about that, man. No, you're right. I make a lot of jokes about drinking. I don't want to encourage anybody to do anything unhealthy. Frivolous Disguise says, I've been having a poor week, but your stream has helped cheer me up. Genuinely. Thank you, Henry. Wow, Frivolous Disguise, thank you very much. It's always nice when we're having a poor week to see a guy cut his fingers on very dangerous kitchen equipment, because I think it makes us feel better about ourselves, and that's why I watch YouTube. Hey, Frivolous Disguise, in all seriousness, thank you very much for that comment. That's very nice of you, and thanks Parasitosis for that song. That was a really kind of a surprisingly emotional experience for a lot of us, I think. Corinne Opinion says, your videos always put a smile on my face. Wow, thank you very much for that, Corinne Opinion. I'm trying to think if your name is a play on words like opinion, but maybe not. _ opinion. Annalition 532 says, how badly did you cut it? Pretty badly. I'll be honest with you. I kind of downplayed how much I cut it because I didn't want to make any drama on the stream, but I sliced it up pretty good. I had to show a 4-minute video and go put multiple band-aids on it. But it's okay. Fingers heal. It was my own stupid fault. I should have been wearing a glove on the right hand I watched the DVD again, and I had a glove on this one, but this was the one doing all the dangerous activity. It was really pretty dumb on my part, but we made it through, and it's not the Slicer Dicer's fault. That's a badass piece of equipment, and I've made some really good stuff with it, and I made good stuff with it that day. But yeah, I cut it up pretty good. What the Doug says, hey Henry, I've only been able to watch every other stream because of my work lately. I notice a new dog that appears on stream sometimes, or is it that my suppressed desire to own a dog causing me to see hallucinations at 3 a.m.? Please clarify. Yes, there has been a dog here. Brisket is not here with us at the moment today because he's being taken care of by the family that lives down the hall. They might be falling in love with Brisket and maybe thinking about taking Brisket on as their family dog. We don't know. There's a lot going on there. I'll keep you posted. Corinne Upinion says, I wish it was wordplay, but it's just nonsense words. Well, it's pretty cool. It sounds like a cool band, like a prog rock band from the 70s or something. Parasitosis says, I wish I enjoyed the movie Last Unicorn because America does all the music. Is that true? Wow, I might have to watch that. I love all the songs from America. I'm talking about the band America. I do not love all the songs from America. I love a lot of them, but there's some lousy ones too. Dark Ages says, the Muller Pro is a honed kitchen device. It's like a katana. You need to respect it fully or it will punish you. And can I ask some of the cooking people out there, I know a lot of you cook, am I the only one who cuts themselves in the kitchen, or are there some of you out there that have done some of these accidental cutting? I'm not talking about intentionally cutting yourself. I'm saying it really hurt. We're seeing Androphyte says, R.I.P. Brisket. No, Brisket is alive and well and a very happy doggy. I don't want anybody to think that Brisket has passed. Nancy Drudel says the Muller has a finger guard. It really does? I don't remember seeing a finger guard. I'm going to have to use that now. Danny Dog 69 says, I stab myself more than cut in the kitchen. Yeah, Dark Ages says, my mom cut the tip of her finger off. Oh my goodness. And she had to go to the hospital. I accidentally sliced into my hand with a serrated bread knife. Okay. All right, well, it looks like a lot of people. Lacey T says, I currently have 2 cuts from knives. Dendra Leone says, I only cut myself intentionally. Yeah, I'm not talking about that kind. Okay, so it sounds like I'm not alone there. Capacious T says, I still have a scar on the back of my hand from doing Thanksgiving over 12 years ago when I touched the broiler. Ooh. Yeah, these are starting to make me uncomfortable. There's a lot of them. I didn't know how many people. Game Master Flash says, I don't think I've had any major kitchen mishaps. I'm pretty careful in the kitchen. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad to read that because we got a lot of... I Slap Catbot says, I used to work at a bagel place and grabbed a knife that was falling off the counter, so I have a nice scar from that. Oh, man. Official Shitter says, one time I got a gash in my finger while trying to cut an ice cube. Ugh. Still have a line in my fingerprint from it. Oh, my goodness. Annelition 532, I cut myself with a bread knife, too, once. But you know what? These are the things that make us human, right? Like, I'll bet if I asked, computer, have you ever cut yourself by accident in the kitchen?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Nothing. And that's what makes us human beings. I'm not saying it's good. It actually makes us worse than computers. Annelition 532 says the hole is a bagel is there. Oh, the hole in a bagel is there so you can put your finger in there to stabilize the bagel while cutting it. Ah, I didn't realize that. I always thought it was so that you could put a rod through all the bagels like the early merchants. I did a little research on this. They used to, the street vendors for bagels used to have, it was called a bagel stick. And it was a rod that you would group your bagels on top of through the hole. You'd thread it through the hole and then hang it up, and that would be your bagel stick. And apparently this is in that, I don't know if anybody saw Gangs of New York. I didn't actually, but I think it's about that time, that era of New York that was a very, very dangerous, lawless time. And bagel vendors would have bagels stolen from them all the time. So sometimes they'd have to whip out that bagel stick and use it as a weapon to fend off offenders. Dandyface94 says, are there no rules against blatantly getting off on stream? Sorry, you're right. We are getting way off. I'm going to take this guitar and put it down. We've done our songs. It's time now for us. Let's just run through the rest of the pictures here. Pug Lady says that Pug Man is in Santiago, Chile. Very, very cool. That looks like I like the way the pastel colors are sort of providing a nice complement to my image, sort of. Dark Ages, whoa. This looks like some pro picture taken right here. This is great. There's a caption here. It says, it's finally getting warm out here, so we're getting hikes in. Wow, this is a hike in the Midwest. This shot is straight from my phone, taken during a walk on one of our favorite short trails in Indiana Dunes National Park. Wow, all the traveling I've done in Indiana, I've never seen anything like this. This is really cool. And thanks for proving to us that even with just your phone, you can take a picture with a framing and a perspective that makes it very interesting. It looks like all the trees are going right toward my brain. I like it. Thanks for this. And we've got other pictures too. Quite a few, actually. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to come back to the pictures because there's a period of time that we're going to have to put our rice in the refrigerator, and we're going to have some downtime. So I'll come back to the pictures. And we also have, I was thinking we'd play a little bit more of Beelzebu's game too. All right. So, Guitar Joe says, encoded riddle for Henry. I use thousands of reflections, but no mirror, no light. Turn me off to keep feeling all right. Thousands of reflections, but no mirror, no light. Turn me off to keep feeling all right. Turn me off. What is something that we turn off a lot on the stream? Turn me off. Oh, I got it. Thousands of reflections, but no mirror, no light. You're talking about the reverbus on. The reverbus on, and we're going to turn the reverbus off. Check, 1, 2. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Guitar Joe. If you're going to tell me something technically is going on with the stream, please try to do it either in some kind of code or as a riddle like Guitar Joe just expertly did. That's probably the best way to do it. Maui Girl 45 says, maybe we can talk about bagel sticks again soon. Yeah. We might be able to teach you how to make a bagel stick sometime. All right, so we're going to come back to the pictures, but for right now, we've got work to do. We've got a lot of work to do. Why is it like that? Okay. There's that. Check. Okay. I think we're doing okay. Shirley's Newt says, hi, Henry. Hey, right back to you, Shirley's Newt. Thanks for joining us here today. We are going to be making crispy rice. I have a video here that we're going to watch. Let me just see if I can set it up. We're going to go to... Why don't I see it? Wait, hold on. Something's weird. Something's weird going on here. How do I...
Okay, if you're a rice lover, you're gonna...
We gotta find this video. Copy image address, maybe? Sorry, everybody. I knew this was probably something that I should have... No, that's not gonna do it. All right. I don't know how to share.
Okay, if you're a rice...
Oh, share. Okay. Copy. Okay, got it. We're just going to watch this YouTube short, and it's going to teach us how to do this.
Okay, if you're a rice lover, you're going to want to listen in. Okay, if you're...
Okay. So what I need to do now is go to the variety section, variety capture. I'm getting faster with this kind of shit. Okay. Here we go. I gotta turn on the desktop audio. So we're gonna all just, everybody just chill out, and we're gonna watch this video here of Rose Reisman teaching us how to make crispy rice.
Okay, if you're a rice lover, you're going to want to listen in. We're going to take just some white rice that I've cooked up, about 2 cups.
I've got
We're
that.
going to make crispy rice out of it without deep frying. Add a little bit of soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
Some sesame oil. And this is optional, but I love this new ingredient called a chili crisp. It's spicy, so if you don't want any spice in your life, but who doesn't want spice in their life? Okay, mix this together. Now I'm going to put it onto some parchment paper and pop
It's
it
going
in the
too
oven
fast.
at 400. And this is optional, but I love this
How do you
new
full
ingredient
screen?
called a chili crisp. It's spicy, so if you don't want any spice in your life, but who doesn't want spice in their life? Okay, mix this together. Now I'm going to put it onto some parchment paper and pop it in the oven at about 450 degrees. Let's look at it in about 15 minutes and see whether that works. Okay, so my crispy rice took about 20 minutes until I got it brown and crispy as I like. Now, let it sit for about 5 minutes while you're making up your dish or a salad, whatever you're doing, and it will crisp up even that much more.
Okay, that's the video I'm kind of getting this from. I don't know if you guys were paying attention. Preheat the oven. Thank you, Beanie Bobini. Thank you for that. We're going to do that right now. Oven is being preheated now. Parasitosis says, what? That bit of a Boston accent in there when she said, got it. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about YouTube, is there's people from all over the world, every place from Boston to, I don't know, New York. People just, sharing their tidbits. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm not going to use that as a recipe. It's a video. I'm going to try to find... Here we go. Yeah, this is AI Overview. They do good work. Crunchy rice is a beloved texture profile across many global cuisines. Whether you are looking to make a savory pan-fried, or baked rice, snack on crispy rice rollers. Computer, what's a rice roller?
Rice roll is a food and rice roll lasts in the fridge for about 2 days.
Okay, and then eat breakfast cereal. There is a method or product to suit your craving. So first thing we're going to do is crispy rice mix. We're going to toss 2 cups of cooked rice with a tablespoon of sesame oil. All right, so we're gonna need our work bowl. And let's get our rice. I made this rice today. It says something about day-old rice. We don't have that kind of time. Hey, is Husky Boyo there? Hey, what's up, Husky Boyo? Good to see you. What the Duck says, hey, Henry, I've been able to watch every other stream because of my work lately. I noticed a new dog that appears on stream. Oh, we talked about that. And thank you very much, What the Duck, for the subscription. Okay. Husky Boyo says, hey, Henry, hope you're doing well, bud. You too, man. I hope you're doing great. And guys, if you want, check out the Discord channel for Husky Boyo, HUSKYBOYO, and check out some of his streams. I think he's streaming on Patreon nowadays, if I'm not mistaken. But you can get all the info there. And Husky Boyo, please feel free to tell us what you're up to. Yeah, Patreon. Okay, so check out Husky Boyo. He's an amazing drawer and just a great hang. And it's a fun watch. Old Pineapple says, weren't we using skewers? I got my skewers ready. No. For reasons that I'm not really at liberty to discuss at the very moment, we will not be using skewers. As a matter of fact, I also noticed that I did not put up the tier 3 subscribers, and I feel like an asshole. I also didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So that's going to just drive my ADD wild. Okay, those are the tier 3 subscribers. Bert Buff Tug says, Henry is in shambles. You're absolutely right. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Okay, let's go back to our recipe on crispy rice. Crunchy rice. Sorry, I keep saying crispy rice. Apparently you can do them interchangeably, but I want to call it crunchy rice. So, wow, they're getting right into it. And just try not to be grossed out by this Band-Aid that I've got in here. You know what happened to me yesterday? I went to a little barbecue and made myself a little sandwich at a little party. And started munching down on it, and I was like, something's kind of rubbery or something, and it turned out I was eating my Band-Aid. It was really, really gross. Carino Opinion says, was it tasty? No. It wasn't good. As a matter of fact, a lot of people got grossed out by it and stopped eating their barbecue. And I shouldn't go to parties is what I'm saying. But anyway, here we go. Let's take this. Why does this still look out of focus? It's supposed to be on autofocus. Okay, there's our rice situation. What we're going to do is we're going to toss 2 cups of rice, which I guess that's probably about 2 cups of rice, with 1 tablespoons sesame oil. So I've got this. This is sesame. Oh, no, sorry, sesame oil. And let's go ahead and open this. It's hard to open with that finger missing. Yee. Oh, great. It's all messy. Gonna get some paper towels here. 1 tablespoon, which I have here. I don't think I'll need a glove yet because there's no sharp objects. Okay, we need 1 tablespoon soy sauce. I have these, here's a little tip. You don't have to buy soy sauce. You just take them from a local restaurant. This one's here is called Sempio. How much is in here? 0.2 fluid ounces. Computer, how many tablespoons is 0.2 fluid ounces?
0.2 fluid ounces is 0.4 tablespoons. By the way, you have a new notification. Do you want to hear it?
No. Here's some more. This is Kikkoman. How many is in this one here? It doesn't say. Used by May 2025. Computer, what is the year?
The current year is 2026.
Okay, well, I don't really see why that would make such a big difference. But, all right, so we've got that now. We've got press, optionally, we've got 1 tablespoons of chili crisp. This is called chili crisp. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and show a video really quick because we have a little bit of a situation.
Really interesting chord progressions that will generate these beautiful melodies. But chorus is incredible in this song. And that's saying a lot because so many of his songs have great choruses. Let's check out the beginning.
Something hurts and it's way down deep. I think there's something wrong with me. I got friends that I never see. They say they don't have time for me. I try to reach out to my family, but I just get voicemail.
Let me solo the vocals so you can hear the beautiful vocal quality he has here.
I try to watch TV.
Okay, everybody, are you there? Wait, do you hear me? Sorry I had to do that, but we just had brisket delivered back to us. So here, hold on a second. Brisket. Brisket cam is back on, but we're gonna have to borrow the brisket cam, formerly the roast beef cam, but roast beef is still contributing to the stream by letting us use his cam. Is he gonna grab a bite? He looks a little like he doesn't really know what's happening. That seems like a lot of animals have that sort of a look. He'll grow into these ears one day. That's what Husky Boyo says. Yeah, Husky Boyo's got a couple of dogs, right? Yeah, those ears, he's not going to get a family with those ears. Are you kidding? They're going to be like, yeah, I don't mind the dog. He's, you know, she's well trained or whatever and cute and all that, but those ears are ridiculous. Corinne Opinion says, I thought brisket was a her. Am I mistaken? Yes, I make the mistake of misgendering the dog now and then because I guess I'm just so used to calling a little dog a he. I don't know. It's because for years I had a he dog, and But thanks for keeping me on that. Guitar Joe says it's a midday miracle. Yep, we got brisket back. All right, Parasitosa says, be right back. I think my microwave went off. No, that was me. Okay, all right, everybody. We were going to do chili crisp. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of chili crisp. You might hear a little pitter-patter going on in the background here. Chili crisp. Computer, what is chili crisp?
According to Wikipedia, chili crisp or chili crunch is a type of hot sauce, originating from Chinese cuisine, made with fried chili pepper and other aromatics infused in oil, sometimes with other ingredients.
Interesting, okay. Let us now, what do we do with this? We want to toss this. Okay, and by toss, they don't mean toss it in the trash. They mean you want to toss it up. I think I have some tossers. Yeah, we can toss it with this. This is really more for salads, but we can certainly toss with this. And this is going to give you a little bit of exercise in your wrist. As you get older, you start losing the muscles that are needed to conduct your everyday activities. And so this is going to be a nice way to sort of keep those muscles in check. Capetious T says, that's how you fart. That's freaking bizarre. Yep. Bravest Nebula 21 says, hey, Henry. Hey, right back to you. We are making crunchy rice. And so far, so good. This stuff smells pretty good. And we've got brisket back to her normal position of basically just sitting there and doing nothing. And that's what she's going to do for the next like 18 hours. Okay, WTF says it's important to switch hands when you're exercising your wrists. Yeah, that's absolutely right. You want it symmetrical. Nobody wants to walk around with one badass wrist and then another weak one. What else we got? We got a lot of comments. Capacious T says, do you remember when everybody used to have those salad forks? I do. Yeah, they were like big giant ones. I think my grandmother had that. Dark Ages says, it's good to sleep as a tiny dog. I suppose it is. And it's also good to be fearful. One of the evolutionary traits that small dogs have that bigger ones don't is they are instilled with extreme fear. And that's a survival tactic. If they see trouble, they get the fuck out of there. And that's why I sort of relate to them. Okay. There we go. Now, what is next? I don't know. We're going to find out. Press. We're going to firmly press this rice mixture into a parchment-lined dish or a baking pan. Okay, I have a parchment here which is lined with our baking cookie sheet. And what we're going to do is very gingerly lay out our rice mixture situation that we've been working on. Boy, it smells good. I kind of want to just eat this right now. So I hope this isn't one of these things where we start out with a good food and then we just fuck it up by cooking it. Kind of hoping this works. Because I am hungry. All right, so it wants us to firmly press into a parchment-lined dish or baking pan. I mean, I would imagine it's got to be a baking pan, right? Because you're not going to put your dish in the oven. Oh, it says chill. We're going to chill and let this rest. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So we're going to be able to go back to the pictures now because we're going to be pressing this and chilling it if we have room. Okay, that's our crunchy rice pre-cooking. So we're gonna put this in the fridge. If we can find room. And this will enable us to go through some more of the pictures. Computer, set timer for 30 minutes. Hey, computer, set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
Okay. Angry Penguin says, I hope you put it in the crisper drawer so it gets crispy. No, I don't think it would have fit. Guitar Joe says, it's Kate X. is an invaluable, amazing informational source, and I'm going to definitely second that. I agree wholeheartedly. It's Kate X is wonderful. Thank you, It's Kate X, for all that you do. Captain Supafly says, you have more viewers than iDubbbz. I don't know. Do I know iDubbbz? We've got 248 viewers right now. That's very good. What we're doing, if you're just joining us, we're making this. No, we're not making that at all. That's a chicken wing. We're making crispy rice, but it's currently in the refrigerator chilling. Or it's crispy rice. I keep saying crispy rice. It's crunchy rice. Apparently, you can use either one. But right now, we're just going through a couple of our background pictures. This is a beautiful one that was gifted to us by Dark Ages. Beanie Bobini says that at the NASA website, apparently in honor of Earth Day, you can put in any name and they will put together a collage of pictures that spell out any name you want. And this one says Henry. It's using the landscape. So Beanie Bobini is our intern. Beanie Bobini, do you just go to nasa.org or whatever and you can see this kind of thing? It's very cool. I like it. Why don't we get... since we have a lot of viewers right now and we weren't able to, they weren't able to see the music portion, maybe we could put some reverb on and do a little more music. Check. Help. Check. Help. Angry Penguin says this looks like a sacrificial ritual. It really does. All right, let's see what else we've got. Mimsy Coon sends a beautiful picture of Pearl. Pearl is Mimsy Coon's
Delicious.
dog. Wow, Pearl's getting big. Shirley's Newt has just cheered. Thank you so much, Shirley's Newt. Let's check in with our alerts. Has cheered 1,000 bits. Amazing. Thank you, Shirley's Newt. That's very kind of you. And Lady Dina has cheered 5 bits. Thank you so much for that. WTF says, are you putting the rice in the air fryer to get it super crunchy? I don't know. I actually don't know what we're going to do. I've never made this before. Donnie Wahlberg says, howdy Hank and chat. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Hope you had a nice weekend too. We're just looking at background pictures and making crunchy rice. Let's see what this one is from Dendra Leone. Sends a picture of a tree. Did we already look at this one? I like it. Let's check in with brisket. I have a problem with my finger. It's got a Band-Aid on it because I sliced it up when I was trying to give my demonstration of the slicer dicer. Nancy Droodles, it's Brisket's prison, but she can leave there anytime she wants, but she has something called learned helplessness, which means that she says, what's the point of leaving? It's just going to be the same as always. And in a way, we all have learned helplessness. I'm just gonna make a song right now about crunchy rice. Crunchy rice in my head. Crunchy rice in my brain. Crunchy rice in my head. Crunchy rice in my brain. You know, we were talking to the folks from Orca Mind, Josiah Everhart, who I accidentally called Jose Everhart. Check out Orca Mind's Twitch channel for some great music. I was very inspired looking at their Bandcamp, and then it inspired me to put Jose Suicidio's music on Bandcamp as well. But we were talking about major seventh chords and how they just sort of put you in that mood. Crunchy rice in my head. That's a minor 6 chord, which I think you have to do also. In my brain. And the lyrics don't even matter. One more time. Crunchy rice in my head. Crunchy rice. Let's do a 13th. In my brain. That was the flat 6, flat 7 tonic ending. Nancy Drudel says, can we make Rice Krispie tarts instead of this recipe? I would love to go back and do a totally different recipe. Donnie Wahlberg says, many wow. How talent. Thank you very much. Thanks, Donnie Wahlberg. I'm just trying to kill time while our crunchy rice is cooking. And I was just sort of inspired to make a song called Crunchy Rice. Dark Ages made a comment that crunchy rice in my brain is a medical emergency I can get behind. Yeah, I think it's something that happened to people back in the 70s. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Purple is a Fruit sends us a picture of a froggy. This is very cool. Donnie Wahlberg says, I only ever learned basic chords in cliche 90s songs. Henry has some slick fingers over there. Well, thanks. I'm a big fan of at least 4-part chords. But, you know, there's a certain sound that it brings. And it's not necessarily for every type of music. Angry Penguin says, Crunchy Rice would be a great band name. Yeah, I agree. I think there's something there. Hey, can we call the Library of Congress right now and tell them that we have a song called Crunchy Rice and see if we can copyright this? Maybe we could send them this video. Wow, this is a really cool picture from Nancy Meow Meow. Crunchy rice in my head. Crunchy rice in my brain. Everyone type Forson says, computer, play Crunchy Rice. If there's a song called it, that's going to piss me off. Computer, play a song called Crunchy Rice.
Crunchy Leaves and Rice Water Noises, and similar songs, on Amazon Music.
Hey, welcome back. I just picked some very beautiful flowers.
Computer, stop. Ah, what the hell was that? I think our song is way better than whatever that was. I don't even remember what we asked for. Oh, Bjork? Okay. You Fear Jazz says that was Bjork. Well, I'm sure it was fine, but it wasn't something I was expecting. Okay, Mentally Eel sends us this cool pic. Oh, is this a picture of a fish in an aquarium? I like it. Shirley's Newt says, I think it might be a different kind of genre. Yeah, I would say so. Corinne Opinion says, I love Bjork. Never mind. Thank you, Mentally Eel, for this, and we are all mentally eel right along with you. And let's see what other pictures we have here. Going through just about all of them. Oh, here we go. This one here comes to us from Gumme Kande. Crunchy rice in my head. Crunchy rice in my brain. Crunchy rice, that's a diminished, in my head. This is a squirrel trapped in some sort of a digital portal. Crunchy rice in my flat 6 brain. 13th. Beanie Bobini says, Bro thinks he's getting some crunchy rice. Yep, and he might. There's another picture here that I think goes along with This is from Noided Terra, and I've seen this image before. It's from a video. Does anybody know what video I'm talking about? Noided Terra, are you out there? Let's see if we can find that video. Jimmy Barnes. Oh, we've got it. We got to watch this video. It's pretty incredible, or at least a little bit of it.
Make your browser fast. Make your browser safe.
We're really doing
Make your
this.
browser.
Studio mode. We're having a YouTube party here in just a sec. Variety. Wow, I'm really getting fast with this kind of thing. When the guy comes in,
I've crossed deserts on camelback, and I feel the holes.
if you haven't seen this, you're gonna love it.
Things I'd rather we forget. I could sweep you off the streets, so saying this is goddamn tough. But this town might be big enough. See, I reckon what you're saying.
This is Australian, right?
Every course I roamed without my boots on. I raced without my horse. And then I ate my horse's meat straight from
Australians know how to party. I feel bad that they can never watch the stream because it's the wrong time zone.
must rhyme a line. You can shoot me in the mountains, in the cold fire.
Corinne Opinion says, yeah, the time zone sucks and their screen is also flipped upside down. Yeah, a lot going against them. Oh, really? Hey, thanks, old Pineapple, for watching from New Zealand. It must be 4 in the morning or something. You're doing the graveyard shift.
For both of us.
Here we go. This is going to be the reference to the picture. That voice. Best part of it right there. All right. And we have it right back here from Noided Terra. I'm imagining that maybe Noided Terra is Australia, and that's why we're not seeing them commenting right now. Game Master Flash says, I imagine this is what it sounded like when Gilbert sang. Yeah, probably. So this guy, Jimmy Barnes, you might remember from the movie The Lost Boys. He sang a duet with Michael Hutchence from In Excess, also an Australian band, I think. Oh, hi, I'm Terra182 says, I am Noided Terra. Noided Terra, we're talking about you. Thank you so much for this background. And I assume this is indeed the picture, or the reference that you were making was to that video. Hi, I'm Tara, says Herney, I'm in Chicago. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're not all the way in Australia. And that probably explains why you're able to join us, because their time zone doesn't really work for us. But that's great. Thank you so much for this. Boner of a Lonely Fart says he needs to hold his cowboy hat on. Yeah, that's a major part of it. I guess it was windy in the studio when he was recording in front of the green screen. It's Kate X says, we're planning on watching Lost Boys next Sunday on the Discord. Oh, you gotta check out Lost Boys. That's a great movie. Great music. And gonna have a good time tonight, I think was the name of that song that Jimmy Barnes collaborated with NXS on. That was a great one. And also, there's just a lot of really good songs in that. All right, everybody, I think it's time for us to move forward with our crunchy rice. I think we've gone through all the pictures. Thanks, everybody, for the pictures. Capacious T says, in excess, the one where he hung himself by accident during autoerotic asphyxiation, was he, I think he might have been one of the originals. I'm not sure. I know that David Carradine did that. I heard someone say years ago, and I don't remember who said it, but it's a great quote. It says that the only thing worse than being caught dead that way is being caught alive that way. Nancy Drudel says, yes, that is correct. Okay. Let's go ahead and, sorry, some dark humor there. I heard a comedian say that one time, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever, but I don't remember who it was. It was before I was a comedian. It was, Game Master Flash says, world's greatest dad vibes. Yeah. Oh, what a movie that is. If you haven't seen World's Greatest Dad, you must. Yeah, Kung Fu guy, that's David Carradine. All right, well, our rice should be ready to work with now. Let's go back to our recipe here. We've chilled it. Now we're going to cut it and we're going to fry it. Oh, do we even cut the solid rice? Oh, we're going to oven bake it. Oh, it's supposed to go up to 425. All right, we have a choice here. We can cut into rice squares. Sorry, everybody, I gotta figure this out. Shallow fry in neutral oil. Okay, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I don't think I'm gonna do it in the oven. I think I'm gonna use, and I might regret this, but I have a cast iron waffle iron here, and I think I want to use this. So we're going to spread this. We're going to put some oil on it, a neutral oil. Computer, is Acovado oil a neutral oil?
Aquavetta oil is often used for cooking and has a mild flavor, making it a good choice for many recipes. It's designed to be versatile and works well for various cooking methods, but always check the label for specific use recommendations.
That was a yes or no question, and it actually didn't get the answer. Swiss only is neutral, is what Nancy Drudel says. I literally don't know. I don't know what that was, but I'm just going to assume that it is neutral. So we're going to pour some of this in here because I do not want anything sticking. That Band-Aid of mine seems to be coming off, which is a drag. Okay. I think I have a brush. Yeah, we have a paintbrush here that we can use to get this, you know, so that it's all over the bottom. A little dab over here. Okay. All right. Maui Girl says we could make Band-Aid waffles. Yeah, it looks like we might be. All right, let's get our chilled sticky rice situation. Now, it looks like there's probably not going to be enough room to put all of this, but I think this should work. We might have needed to chill it a little bit more. It says chill for a day, but I'm not going to stream for a whole day. That's ridiculous. So we're just going to do the best that we can here. Who thinks this is going to turn out good? I don't know. It smells good. I don't really see any reason why it would not come out good. Let's pat it down. Okay. Very apologetic to our friend Brisket here, but Brisket, we're going to borrow your cam. And put that there, and I think we're just going to start burning, or whatever. This is brought to you by Camera for OBS Studio, and it says fry medium high until golden brown on all sides. Well, I won't be able to see it. Angry Penguin says river basin. River basin. So like a basin that would be a river brisket we're getting. Reverb is on. Reverb is on. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it looks like I left the reverb on. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Check. Two. Okay. Thank you very much for that coded language there. The last thing you want to do is embarrass a streamer about a technical difficulty, so always try to come up with either a code or a riddle. Some clever way of letting them know. Shirley's Newt says, what's the difference between crunchy rice and stale rice? Good question. Computer, what's the difference between crunchy rice and stale rice?
Crunchy rice is often freshly cooked and left to dry, giving it a firm texture, while stale rice has been stored for a longer time and can become hard or dry. Both can be used in different recipes depending on the desired texture.
Computer, is stale rice crunchy?
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I always like to try to blow her mind with a question that's impossible to answer. Unless you're just somebody with a basic knowledge of things. Dendra Leon says River Phoenix. Yeah, there's some other good coded language there. Meatball says she's never experienced crunch. So sad, yeah. Capacious T says, why do your kitchens have gas stoves? It's really hard to find a rental with a gas stove in Florida. Oh, is that true? Are they all electric stoves? I don't know how to answer that. I think it's the old way. There's a lot of old stuff here. You Fear Jazz says, Big Rice won't let you know the truth. Yeah. Whiskey Monster says it's also tough to find a gas stove rental in Massachusetts. Well, what I like is these convection ovens where you cook it on stainless steel, and we had one of those, but it broke down on us. Frickin' fly, man. Okay. we've got some cooking happening here. That's good. Now I'm gonna definitely be using pot holders for this, or what we call the of glove here. These were gifted to me by you, the users, and if it was a very specific user, I don't remember. It was a couple years ago, but I want to thank them for this because these things are fucking phenomenal. All right, and we're going to be doing some dangerous stuff right now. We're going to flip our crispy rice. So let's go ahead and do that now. Might be a little hot. Okay, are we feeling okay? Shanda says nothing ever goes wrong when Henry uses the waffle iron. Yeah, I will say that there have been some mishaps with that thing. Capacious T says gas stoves are the best. Just ask Sylvia Plath. Well, we don't have to ask Sylvia Plath because we have computer. Computer, are gas stoves the best? Hey, computer, are gas stoves the best?
Gas stoves are a popular choice for many because they offer fast heating and precise temperature control. However, the best cooking appliance depends on individual needs and preferences, as electric and induction stoves each have their own
Induction,
benefits.
that's what I meant.
Consider what works best for your kitchen.
Yeah, I'm sorry every now and then I get a little bit upset with computer, but it's a computer. It's not like a person that needs a break or, sleeping. That fly, man. And you know what? The fly looks just like some of the stuff that's in this chili crisp, so I could be eating a fly and not even know it. All right, let's. I think we're done here, right? Let's go ahead and see what we've got to work with here. I'm gonna don the of gloves. I used to know a guy named Don the of gloves. Angry Penguin says, put the fly in the rice and cook it. That'll show it a lesson. Yeah, but then it'll fuck up my rice. All right. Let's move all this stuff out of the way. Uh-oh. Lost the stream deck for a second there. Watch out. Now, this is going to be very hot. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to leave that on the oven. Or the stove or whatever. And let's bring our plate over there. Well, we definitely made a fucking mess. And we got a fly. But we do have, I guess, crispy rice. It doesn't look a whole lot different from our regular rice. But this has stuff in there that looks like it could be the fly. So I'm going to go ahead and take a bite here and see what we've got to work with. Computer, stop. I don't remember why we set that timer. Guitar Joe says Brisket's toothbrush will clean that up. Yeah, let's get the camera back on Brisket. The last thing you want to do as a YouTube or Twitch personality is move your camera away from your cute dog onto some shitty food. That's one of those things that I've learned. Take another look at Brisket here. All right. Hot, hot. Whoa, very fucking hot. Woo, woo. All right, make sure to blow on it because it's very hot. But you know what? Pretty good. I haven't decided yet whether this is great, but it's definitely pretty good. Whiskey Monster says, what about when you don't have a cute dog? Testing 1, 2. Okay. We're back. Don't know what happened. It was very disturbing. We had a very difficult, here I'm trying to get things back up and running. We want to get the camera back on, yeah, Parasitosis, thanks for reaching out. Yeah, the internet connection died. But let's make sure everything's working. We've got here Boner of a Lonely Fart just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Amazing. Thank you so much, Boner. If you're wondering what happened here, I don't know why, but the stream just died. The internet connection died. I guess that's something that happens every now and then. Maybe they were working on it. Maybe there was a catastrophic accident or some kind of storm. Whoa, Game Master Flash. Thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs, and let's make sure we're caught up on our alerts here. Beanie Bo Beanie, thanks for the bits, for cheering the bits, and it says, this is to help pay for the oven gas we wasted. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We wasted gas, but that's okay. Shirley's Newt says, I was laughing so hard at the show today that I accidentally inhaled some Diet Mountain Dew and have been coughing ever since. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you were laughing. It's always good to laugh, to take the edge off of the horror that is the kitchen. So we are back. Let me see here. I need to connect the Wi-Fi in order to get the camera back on Brisket. Let's see here. There's Brisket. All is right with the world. And if you're wondering what happened while the stream was down, I ate all of that shit. And I think I'm about to go and devour this. That was really good. The internet seems to be bad again. So I think I'm going to have to say goodbye, everybody. I'm showing that we have a red signal, which is always bad. It's fucking delicious. You're right, Dark Aegis. It was crunchy, and I ate every bit of it. It was fantastic. Danny Dog 69 says, "Hey Henry, I've also been cooking all day and have only cried 3 times, so that's a win." Yes, thank you. I want to thank everybody for joining, and thanks again to Boner of a Lonely Fart and Game Master Flash for the gift subs. Thanks Lady Dina for the cheers. Thanks Parasitosis for being on it. And Parasitosis says, "Henry, did the scream cut out so you could kill the original Henry and just wear his skin like a skinwalker?" I'm not going to confirm nor deny that that's what happened and that I'm actually a replacement of the original Henry. But because I am a computer and I'm not allowed to say a lie. Chernot the singer says, "Thanks Henry." Thank you Chernot, and keep singing, will you? Thanks Carreño Pinion. What's the last time I ate something delicious? I think not too long ago, Game Master Flash gifted me a pizza, and that was pretty delicious. Thanks, everybody. The internet's spotty, so I'm going to say goodbye now. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Emmy Bear. Thanks, Saguaro. Thanks, Beanie Bo Beanie, Dark Aegis. Hope to see everybody on Wednesday at 11 a.m. We're going to continue cooking. We're going to figure out what's going on with the internet. Remember, we wrote a new song today. Crunchy rice in my head. Crunchy rice in my brain. Let's make sure we copyright that. I think it's got legs. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Xtina B, thank you. Lisi T. Husky Boyo, good to see you, man. Gumme Kande. All right, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for joining. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific.